Why does this always happen? Like, real question.
I'm still sweating.
Yeah, it's 12:24 over here in the East Coast of the United States in central Pennsylvania.
I mean, what a crazy game against the Chicago Bears. Monday Night Football, Heinz Field. Steelers just barely edge out a victory against the Chicago Bears.
I must say, though, it is our first win against the Bears since 2005. It is Mike Tomlin's first win against the Bears in his career, and it is actually Mike Tomlin's 150th career win as a head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That all sounds good. That all sounds very impressive.
And we are 5-3 right now.
After starting 1-3.
That's all very impressive.
But honestly, man, I was not impressed by this win. I do not consider this a good win. This was almost a complete team
Collapse.
Choke.
Pretty much. Like this team, considering how we were in the first half, where we led 14-3 and pretty much dominated the Bears. We let them come back in the second half, let them score 24 unanswered points. Like the team was literally collapsing within our eyes in the second half.
God almighty. It was rough.
I mean, if I'm going to be honest, this was not a convincing win.
No, because if I'm going to look at the box score right now, we led heading into the third quarter. We led, what was it?
14-3.
No, that's halftime. I'm talking about into the third quarter. We led, what was it? 20-6 or something?
Something like that.
And then we allowed the Bears to score 21 unanswered in the fourth quarter alone.
Like, why? And all of a sudden, too, it's like you have the win in the palm of your hand, and you're pretty much letting the team that you're going up against. And listen, I'm not trying to discredit anything that the Chicago Bears did tonight. I'm not discrediting their team at all. I think on paper they got a good roster. They got a good team. They're just not led by the right guy in Matt Nagy. But how do you have a lead like that and a dominating performance to start off like that and pretty much almost let it go? Let it slip through your grasp.
I just don't know why this team gets so conservative. And I know, like, we should be used to it as Steelers fans, but...
And this happens every week. Pretty much every game this has been the case. But it's like, I don't know what it is. It's just the Steelers pretty much suck us in. And then this shit happens. Like, I don't know why. I don't know how. Like, it happens every game, every time, every year. And yes, we should be used to it. It's just, I don't know. And I've been saying that all year. It's just, I just don't know.
I don't know. We will have shout out to Cold Steel, man.
Cold Steel.
FKA, Just Blaze 412, JB 412. We were on his stream, and I know we had 70 some odd people in the live chat watching our reactions, and it was just absolutely nuts. Shout out to all those that watched. Shout out to him for having us on, man. We should be having him on very shortly. He'll call in and he'll give his thoughts with us. But we're gonna start with the offense, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense. It was just very inconsistent tonight,
as usual, as the offense usually is. Pretty much very inconsistent. At the start, especially in the first half, they looked decent. They were running the ball very decently. Ben did not really force any passes.
We had an opening drive touchdown with Najee.
Yeah, we did. And we got Freiermuth involved. Freiermuth, let me tell you about freaking Pat Freiermuth.
Pat Freiermuth, man. The truth, Freiermuth.
Muth.
This dude is the truth. 5 receptions, 43 yards. That may not sound too great, but he had 2 touchdowns. And he was tremendous as a blocker tonight. Freiermuth continues to step up. Freiermuth, honestly, in my opinion, should get the game ball. Him, TJ Watt, or Chris Boswell.
Yeah. Like, my God.
Like, I have been so impressed with Freiermuth and how he's stepping up so well at this young of an age and how he's getting involved week after week. It's great to see with this offense. It's one of the few bright spots of this still growing offense. Because the offensive line, they only played too great tonight. They only held Najee to 62 yards. That's a 2.8 average. He did have a rushing touchdown, at the opening drive touchdown, but they didn't really create a lot of holes for him. He didn't get a lot of big runs. Najee created most of the yards for himself, to be real with you.
Yeah.
And plus, Dan Moore had a very weak game at left tackle. I'll say that. The offensive line is still kind of struggling. It's still young. I understand this. We all expect it, but the O-line's got to perform a little better. And this was without Khalil Mack.
Yeah, it was. Like, take that as you will, but the line, they show signs of growth, and they are growing. I know they will grow. That's the one thing that I will be patient about, that I will understand. But, like, they have to play better. They got to block better in pass protection. There were times Ben was pressured where Ben even had to force some passes a couple times.
Yes, which could have very well been turnovers. I will say this about Ben. There were a few passes that definitely could have changed the game, but he has been very safe with the turnovers statistically.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't turned the ball over in, like...
What is it now, 5 straight games or something like that?
Yeah.
I forget, but he's been very positive when it comes to not turning the ball over. So I'll give him that. 205 today in passing yards, 21 for 30 and 2 touchdowns. Both of them to Freiermuth, who, again, man, I just shout out to Freiermuth. What a baller. And Deontay Johnson stepped up when he needed to. Claypool had a great catch on a 3rd down, which continued the opening drive, which led to the Najee touchdown. But other than that, Claypool's still kind of quiet this year. I was hoping he'd have at least a touchdown tonight. He did not.
Yeah, he's not really, as of right now, he's not really being the big play Clay like we all expect him to be, coming off a great rookie year.
But other than that, man, the offense is just inconsistent. There were a few times where the defense got some turnovers or even some stops, and it put the offense in decent field position where they could have drained the clock and moved the chains and gotten up the field, but...
Yeah, I mean, there was a time on special teams, I think it was, where the Steelers special teams, forced a fumble on
James
Jakeem
Pierre.
Grant.
And Boswell picked it up, and we didn't take advantage.
No, we didn't.
And Cold Steel was calling. Cold, you there, man?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Chat, can you hear him? I hope you can.
I can hear you.
Oh, so you can hear me? Okay, good.
We can hear you. I hope the chat can hear you. They should be able to.
I hope so.
But we were just talking
about...
let's
wait and see.
Okay. But we were just talking about the offense, how they had many chances to get up the field when the defense gave them good field position and the team had to punt. The Bears had to punt, and we were at like the 40 on our side, and we barely advanced into midfield, and we had to punt. Or when special teams, James Pierre forced the fumble, and Boswell picked it up, and they didn't take advantage. Or when Watt would get a sack, and they wouldn't take advantage. Or how many times do we see the same play from the offense?
Yeah, it goes back to what I've been saying all year long, inconsistency, man.
Very inconsistent. They're conservative, man. And I don't get it. Especially, like, for example, we were talking in your live stream, man, at close to the end of the first half. We had 6 minutes to go, and we were talking about having the team go down the field, drain the clock, drain out the rest of the half. And it was a 3-and-out, and we had the punt. So why?
It just makes this whole season so far has been a WTF.
Yeah, exactly. This happens
in bold letters.
I mean, I think that's a perfect description for how the season has been so far, and probably will be for the remainder. Really?
Like, we were excited at the end of the game, but at the end of it all, it's just like we don't really know how to judge this team week to week. Hell, quarter to quarter, if you want to be honest. The first quarter, we were like at the most high. And then by the fourth quarter, which ironically, at the end of the third quarter, what did I say? Get ready for the fourth. It's going to be messy. And sure enough, as always,
21.
If you're a Steelers fan, you know.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought up the fourth quarter because 21 points allowed for the Bears' offense in the fourth quarter. We were just talking about the offense. Now let's get to the defense, man. Statistically, Watt had 3 sacks tonight, and actually, he's the only one that had a sack tonight, surprisingly. So Watt,
3 sacks, which is absolutely, I mean, that's nuts.
It's TJ Watt, and plus he had that pass batted down where Fields almost got the pass off to the sideline, which could have given Cairo Santos closer field goal range, where he could have made the game winner.
More than likely would have, too.
Yeah, so Watt was...
That needs to be talked about. And he had 7 total tackles, 4 solo.
Yeah, so that's massive from Watt. He came the ball tonight, so shout out to TJ Watt. I mean, he balls every week. Let's be real.
And he shows every single week why he's worth every penny. The guy's all over the field. The guy's a game changer.
Minka had a few good stops, a few pass breakups would look nice.
But the secondary in general, and I see some people in chat bringing it up, and we saw it all night. Secondary is suspect as hell.
Very.
Definitely the weakest point of the defense.
Yeah,
and honestly, I mean, this is a mess heading into this part of the season. I mean, this is not championship football. I'm happy for the win. A win is a win. But, I mean, at some point, this flame's going to fizzle out if we don't turn things around. I'm hoping that the Steelers use the Lions game this upcoming Sunday as a way to turn around and get some more momentum as we're heading into what is looking like a firestorm.
Yeah, because after this Lions game, yeah, exactly. It's a firestorm. It is. It's one of the toughest stretches for the rest of the season, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with that, though, is we're on a short week. So, I mean.
Yeah.
And the Lions are coming off a bye.
They are. So, I don't give a damn if they're winless. That don't mean shit.
No. It doesn't.
No, you got to. I think this team going forward, they need to kind of adopt what the Super Bowl XL champions philosophy was. Wipe everything off the board. Focus on one team every week. Don't look at the standings. Just focus on each game and look at each team as a true competitor and approach it as such. That's what we need to do if we're going to be Super Bowl bound, which at this point kind of feels like a complete pipe dream.
Yeah.
But as a Steelers fan, I will change my tune in comparison to what I've been in previous weeks. I'm going to go with the more positive vibes and just kind of hope it. And again, just take it week by week. And I think all of us fans should probably do that as well.
Totally.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with this team right now. Because, I mean, let's be clear. A win is a win. But this was messy. Just like the Seahawks game.
I was not happy about this win. I don't consider it a good win. I'm not impressed. Especially like the defense. Like we expect a lot greater from the defense, specifically the secondary.
Yeah, I mean,
they left Cole Kmet open so many times. He had 6 receptions for 87 yards on 8 targets. Allen Robinson was open. They gave Darnell Mooney an open touchdown in the end zone, specifically Millette.
Yeah, the secondary in general just needs to play better. Coming into this game, considering how Fields has been as a rookie.
Fields had almost 300 passing yards.
Yeah. I mean, Fields hasn't really had a great rookie season. He's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns.
And the only man to come with an interception tonight was actually Cameron Hayward.
Yeah, nobody from the secondary. I was hoping that the secondary was going to do something and maybe get a pick or two, but like you said, Hayward was the one that came away with the pick, which, by the way, shout out to Cam Hayward. He's a freaking baller.
Yeah, that was absolutely nuts, man. I mean, and that's not the first time he's picked off somebody, so.
No. Honestly.
Very impressive.
Regarding the defense, I'd say Minka, Watt, and Hayward were the only ones that showed up, which should be to no one's surprise.
I'm sure Chad will agree, too. Devin Bush was an absolute dumpster fire tonight.
On that read option, Darnell Mooney ran it in. Bush read it so bad.
And it's funny because him and Taco have literally almost the same exact stats here. But, I mean, Taco, he just wasn't out of position like we saw with Devin Bush.
No.
Or as blatantly, I should say.
It was so
Joe
bad.
had a pretty decent game. I mean, 5 total tackles, 2 solo. I mean, he did what he had to do. As you guys already mentioned, Watt, I mean, enough said. I mean, 3 sacks in a game. What is he at on the year now? I mean.
Good question. I'm actually going to.
TJ Watt, currently, he had 8.5 coming in, so you had 3.
That'll put him as the sack leader, right?
11.5.
That put him as the sack leader.
I believe so. We could be wrong, but regardless, and Derek Watt. I mean, Derek Watt had some moments tonight too on both sides of the ball.
He did,
especially that one block. I think that was Claypool on that run to the outside. I could be wrong, but
right.
Either way, I mean. This performance is, again, it's a WTF. It's like on one hand, you want to celebrate, you want to be happy for some of the good things that happen. But then, of course, the second half came around. Because, the Steelers, this is how they are right now. They're going to come into a game, the first half, it's going to play flat. and then they're a second half team.
Right.
Or it's vice versa.
Yeah.
Again, inconsistency. It's just wild.
Which we've seen a few times where we show up a little bit in the first half and then sleep the second. We did it against the Seahawks. We did it against the Broncos. Then we did it against the Bears tonight. Honestly, this terrifies me a little bit going into the Lions game next week.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
throw everything out the window. The records, the matchups. That don't mean the Jags just beat the Bills. So any given Sunday, and the way the Steelers performed tonight, I'm not impressed.
Yeah,
am I happy with the win? Am I glad that we have won, 4 straight now, and we're tied second place in the North, considering we were last heading into our bye? Sure, that all sounds peachy and fine.
Yeah.
And with the fact, I will say this as well, the AFC North is completely wide open. It's no longer the American Football Conference. It's the average football conference.
It's kind of what it feels like, yeah, because we said it earlier, too. We were looking at the standings. This thing's wide open.
It is.
I mean, it is absolutely wide open, the AFC North, that is.
But this Steelers performance tonight, though, is just...
it's not convincing, and that's the problem. And, again, I'm excited. I mean, yeah, I'm happy that we won. Of course, I'd rather win than lose, but, I mean...
And going back to the offense, we mentioned how they didn't get up the middle of the field much when they had clear opportunity to do so. They were within 10 yards of doing so. They didn't take advantage of what the defense gave them, of turnovers, of Watt sacks, all that stuff. The offensive line didn't really do too great. We didn't get a rushing game established so much. We found more success on end arounds with Washington and Claypool and Johnson than we did with Najee, to be real with you. Mm-hmm. Which we saw a little too much, by the way. But one thing we saw a little too much were the handoffs on 2nd and impossible.
Dude, 2nd and 19, I mean, what the hell?
To Benny Snell.
To Benny freaking, again, I'm going to say it, man. I said it during the stream. That was the worst play call of the goddamn game.
Like, is Fickner
You don't
still
give
in
Benny
town?
Snell a handoff on 2nd and 19. I mean, that is atrocious.
They did that last year. So is Fickner back in town? Was he visiting?
He might have been. Maybe he did what I did with you guys tonight and phoned in, a few plays for Tomlin. Maybe Canada was a little dry up there and had to take a break. I really don't know. But how about the offensive line, too? I mean, we talk so much about how they improved, and tonight we saw a lot of issues. I mean, Moore was getting absolutely destroyed. Green got fucking punished on a few plays.
Yeah, we talk so much about Dan Moore not really standing his ground. Green hasn't really done that too well either.
And I understand they're rookies. They're 3rd and 4th rounders respectively.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and sure, you can make that argument, but at the end of the day, I don't give a damn.
We're also...
these two guys got pushed around like rag dolls.
And we're now officially halfway through the year. So it's time to step it the fuck up.
Exactly. Like, there's no excuses. We got to stop being complacent. We got to have more convincing matches, more convincing wins. We can't turn the ball over, which is what happened with Ray McLeod tonight.
Oh, God.
Which could have hurt us.
I'm actually embarrassed that I was big on Benny Snell. I see everyone's laughing in chat about Benny Snell. We got Benny Snooze, which is great, by the way. That's a T-shirt. Somebody else said, I don't understand why the hell we still have Snell, and he spelled his name wrong, rightfully so. I mean... I can't believe I was big on this guy, and honestly, disappointing all around the board.
You weren't alone. You weren't alone. But I don't get if you're going to hand it off to Snell on a 2nd and 19, you might as well just send Presley Harvin out there. Like,
chat, I mean, let me ask the chat a serious question here. I'm looking at the stats, and we saw it live. What the hell's going on here with these handoffs to these receivers? We talked about it. Those plays are good, but when they're not all the time, when they become too repetitive, it's just easy to figure out.
The reason, I think the main reason why we couldn't get a rushing game going is because the offense was a little predictable tonight. It looked very predictable. It looked a little bit.
Not on every drive. I mean, the first quarter it was actually not that bad. Obviously, the score reflected that, but yeah, it's just they got complacent and they started calling literally the same plays over and over again, and occasionally they would change a thing here and there. Didn't expect Ben to do that run out the pocket. He was short like a yard,
that
I think.
read option. I like.
Yeah, that was wow.
And then,
your reaction was priceless.
I couldn't, because when the hell do you see Ben run a read option? Have you?
I'm just mad you laughed at him. I was like, damn, that's.
Well, you've watched Ben's whole career. Have you ever seen him run a read option?
No.
No.
So I mean, not that I can recall.
Like, bro, 39-year-old Ben doing a read. It's like, what the hell?
He almost got it, too.
Yeah, he did.
But Boswell nailed the field goal. He was perfect except for an extra point, which almost cost us. But Boswell,
Ben actually Ben actually replied during the press conference, and he said that maybe he's just a little too old for that play. I don't know, but I thought that was funny as well.
That's just the old man humor in Ben.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you were getting ready to talk about Boz, huh? The man of the hour.
Yeah, Boz. Outside of the
he
extra
did miss
point,
an extra point, but
yeah.
But no, he came up big. He came up clutch. Like
as always, man.
Like he's the Wizard of Boz for a reason.
In Hines, in primetime, after a concussion, and the man's just still like.
And he had a reception tonight.
Yeah, he did. He got a fumble recovery.
Yeah, man. Like man, Boswell's so fucking like underrated.
You can make an argument he's the second best kicker. No one's gonna overtake Tucker, but you could argue he's up there with Butker as number 2. But
for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Boswell, man. Shout out to Cam Hayward on that interception. Shout out to Watt on the 3 sacks and the pass deflection, which pretty much saved the game because Santos kicked a 66-yarder, which from our glimpse it looked like he hit the middle pole.
Yeah, the way that camera angles sometimes it tricks you.
Yeah. Obviously he was way short. Thank God. Holy hell.
But if I had to give a game ball, man, like at the end of the day, offense, I'm giving it to Harris, of course. Defense, obviously, Watt.
Offense, I'm giving it to Muth.
Brian Muth.
I mean, that's great. The only reason I gave it to Najee, though, is because some of those – look, he finished 62 yards, 1 touchdown. But those were some hard yards, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, like his heart on that field, and I feel like some of those plays came up very clutch. Obviously, Muth, I mean, that's a great argument. And honestly, maybe that should have been my pick.
Right.
43 yards, 5 receptions. He was targeted 6 times. So, I mean, that's not bad. And 2 touchdowns, which, I mean, wow.
Yeah, the dude continues to step up. We love to see it. But Najee, man, he created most of the yards for himself.
Yeah, that's got to be talked about much more often. Najee is a freaking hustler, dude. He's a freaking beast.
And honestly, that's why I give him the ball on my end, is just because, like, some of those drives, man, he was doing a lot of – I mean, he was carrying guys tonight.
Literally, yeah.
Every week.
Yeah, you're not
kidding. He was flying over the line. I mean, this guy is a baller. He's a playmaker. He's obviously the future. No question at this point. And then you add in the fact Pat Freiermuth. I mean, the Steelers did a hell of a job this year with the draft. And guys like Green and Moore, maybe they continue to progress as the year goes by and going into the future. And whatever negative stuff we have to say about those two will change as well.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
But
it's crazy. The only touchdowns that the Steelers got were from their first 2 draft picks, and Najee and Muth.
Yeah, bro. And I think that was the same case last week too.
It might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But
future of this offense.
2 more things I want to get to and get your opinion on before you get out of here, because I know it's way past your bedtime.
Yeah, man, I'm old. You know, I'm supposed to be in bed by 9.
But Mike Tomlin, he went for it on 4th and 1 twice, which were both conversions from Najee, I believe. No, the second might have been Claypool, but regardless, those both led to touchdowns. Do you appreciate Tomlin's aggression since he had criticism earlier this season?
Yeah, because we always kind of poke fun at him about living in his fears.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, but in that situation, it's one of those things where you'd be damned if you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't get it, then we're calling it a bad decision. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. But
it worked out in our favor, so I don't know how to feel about it totally. But, yeah, he's not living in his fears, and he was aggressive, and luckily for us, it panned out.
It definitely did. Big time.
I'll give props to Tomlin on that for sure. And I guess the other thing would be the refs, specifically Cassius Marsh. That's controversial.
Yeah, that call, we said it during the stream, and I don't give a damn who disagrees. That was a horrible call as an old-school football fan, not just Steelers fan. That made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
These guys are out here competing. Like, this taunting rule shit is horrible.
Yes.
You can't take Harrison's side all these years and back him up and then come out here tonight and take the side of the referees for that stupid call. I mean, almost as dumb as what we saw in the Ravens game yesterday with the whole horse collar thing.
Yeah.
Guy grabs the nameplate or the numbers, actually.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just these rules, they continue to make not only everything inconsistent. I swear to God, I should just make a shirt that says inconsistency. But it's sickening as a football fan. Let these guys go out there. If they want to jaw at the mouth, let them. I'm a Joey Porter fan, so maybe I'm a little biased there, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the call.
No, because it's football, man. These dudes are passionate. Of course these guys are going to get a little taunty.
Exactly.
Not to mention this. Let's be honest. This is a guy that was a part of the Steelers roster last year, so obviously he came into this game with a chip on his shoulder and made a very good play.
Yes.
Sacking Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, that's huge.
On third down.
Yeah, which would have given the Bears more time on the clock, on the field. Instead, the referees want to throw a penalty for taunting, which I'm sick and tired of this taunting penalty. It needs to go.
It's weak.
It's ruining the sport. It's ruining the league. It's ruining the game of football. I'm tired of it.
People could, for example, someone could get a first down. Najee could get up the football, drop it like that, and that's a fucking penalty.
Yeah, dude, they could go like this. And it's all of a sudden a taunting penalty. It's like, dude, yes, it benefit us, but I don't want shit like that to help us win the game. I want us to win it the old-fashioned way, the true football way, because that was ridiculous. I feel bad for Cassius Marsh.
You know what? Honestly, the referees nowadays get too involved.
Because I hate to say it,
too involved.
I hate to say it, they gave us 3 free points.
They did, to be fair. I don't want that. I do not want that at all. And Marsh was getting yelled at by his coach on the sidelines for pretty much doing a football play.
And I felt bad for Marsh, man, honestly. So, but
the guy goes out there and sacks Ben Roethlisberger in Heinz Field in prime time in one of the most crucial parts of the game in the fourth quarter, and you had the nerve to go over there and chew that guy out because the referees made a stupid call. I mean,
I feel bad for him.
Yeah,
jackass, jag-off of the day goes to that coach. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
And this
if I'm that coach, I'm chewing out the refs, not my guy that just went out there and got a sack and felt good about it afterwards. I mean, come on.
And there's this, and none of this. You got to understand the rules nowadays. Fuck that shit.
No, why is this taunting rule a part of the rule book? Why is it in the sport? Fuck that. It's a part of the sport of football. So they are in the moment. They are getting the emotions through them.
So the past few years, they've encouraged celebrations, team celebrations,
Yeah, and look what they did to Chad Johnson all those years back. And now here they're putting it on a pedestal. Same with hits. I mean, say what you want about CTE and concussions and all that stuff, but I mean they used to have segments on ESPN where they were showing guys getting blown up.
Yep.
And, you could buy posters of guys getting their heads knocked off. And nowadays I get it. They're trying to make the game safer. But in some ways, I feel like things like this, in this specific situation, it's actually making the game worse. It's making it boring. It's pissing people off. And honestly, there's people out there that probably at some point is going to get so frustrated that they're just not going to watch this shit anymore.
Yep.
You can forget about politics being, fed into everything around us. This right here is just it's just not needed. It's not wanted, and I don't understand it.
And it costs teams games, man. It's not right. It's not cool.
I hate it. I truly hate it. I hate what this league has turned into. Roger Goodell.
No, because in anyone that agrees with this crap and was celebrating that penalty, you need to understand something. That can happen to us.
Yeah, literally.
Literally, T.J. Watt could, I don't know, he does his thing, his kick in the air. Who's to say that, in a key game, he does it and then looks at a guy on the sideline? Boom, penalty. I mean, that's game. That's literally the referees changing a game and outcome. Yep. And again, I want to go back to it because I'm still pissed about it. That damn horse collar from yesterday in that Ravens game. And that still irritates me.
And why would they pass a rule like this, giving the refs more control of the game?
No idea, man.
I don't understand this league. I don't understand the rules they're passing. They pass rules every year. It's stupid.
We got an extra game this year. I mean, so many changes for what?
For what?
For money.
Pretty much. That's all it is.
It's garbage,
for money.
Man.
That's all they care about.
But that's our argument on the penalty on Marsh, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I could go literally hours talking about this crap.
Yeah. Seriously. But hey, man, Steelers get the win though, 29-27. Not the most convincing, but final thoughts, man, heading into the Lions game.
Man, I feel like a broken record when it comes to this portion of the discussion. My final thoughts. Well, I mean, the Steelers, what are we, week 9? We're heading into week 9.
Week 10.
And we're still, week 10, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Week 10, and we're still doing the whole, they got to do this. They got to start. Man, when the hell does that happen?
Yeah, because
when do we get started?
We were even saying it last year. Oh, this team hasn't played their best ball yet. They only got worse down the stretch. So when the hell is this team going to start playing its best ball? Because
I'm hoping to God that it's literally a Super Bowl XL kind of year, man, where we're just getting by.
Listen, man, we can only hope. It's like every quarter they get worse.
But this is at this point, at this stage of the season, you're halfway. You should be already set. This team is not set.
No. And to this,
I'm telling you, bro, I might put 911 on speed dial. I'm being honest, bro, because one of these games is going to take me out.
Yeah, none of us are going to make it past 70 at this rate.
Listen, man,
maybe 60.
No.
Listen, man, we're about to be in week 10, and I've said this many times. I'm going to say it again. This team still has no identity.
No, I mean, you could argue that we have a running identity to an extent. I mean, to an extent, we've been kind of consistent with the run game, but outside of that, I mean, you're right. Even on defense, as good as Watt is and as good as some other guys play from game to game, it's still unpredictable.
The defense ain't 3 guys. It's a whole collective group of people. And only 3 guys are standing out, in my honest opinion. The other guys got to step up. They got to do better.
Man, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Especially, the defensive back unit right now is literally a dumpster fire.
It is.
And it's sad because Minka's in that group. You know what I mean? It's just – and Edmonds, oh, holy.
Yeah, I've been giving Edmonds praise all season. And it's not just so he can unblock me on Twitter, but he has done really well. Today was one of his worst games. And I said it in our SteelTwins Saturday night stream last night, and some people may disagree. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people disagree with me. I think we should re-sign him over Juju, but tonight was one of his worst games of the season. But at the same time...
So the thing is, and you asked me my final thoughts, I would say, for him specifically, going into that Lions game, that's the game you want to bounce back.
Yeah, totally.
You want to have a solid performance and shut up any kind of negative, conversations being made like we are having right now.
Especially,
I mean, that was a bad performance from him.
Yeah, and look how Cole Kmet did tonight.
Cole Kmet. I want to look at this guy's season stats before tonight, okay? Because I didn't look at it prior. 22 receptions, 197 yards, 0 touchdowns. This man had pretty much almost half of his yards tonight.
And keep in mind, next week, yes, it's the Lions, but they got a hell of a tight end in T.J. Hawkinson. How the hell are we going to cover that if we couldn't do it against Kmet?
Yeah, because the tight end tonight was just doing whatever they wanted.
Yeah, all their tight ends were. The only man that didn't get fed was Double J Jesse James. But the secondary needs to step it up for sure. I don't know where that starts. First of all, I think we need to play Norwood more over Millette because Millette allowed the first down to Robinson, then the touchdown to Mooney.
Yeah, and it seemed like he was watching him backpedal.
Yeah.
And letting guys just blow right past. It's like he wasn't transitioning into position.
Right.
To, at least keep up with the receiver at the least.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he never made those transitions. By the time he's moving his hips and turning around, this guy's like 10 yards ahead of him.
Exactly. And he's a lost cause at that point. But I also still think that some of the argument can be put that Minka needs to be put at deep safety and they need to use Edmonds the way they're using Minka. Like, why is Minka in the box? Why is Minka down by the line of scrimmage? I'd have him deep and have Edmonds work that role because that's what Edmonds is best at. But
right.
Yeah, because how many times have we talked about transitioning him to linebacker?
Exactly.
So, I mean, it makes way more sense to have Edmonds in that position versus Minka, who you're going to want to have up top. I mean, we've seen how many times Minka looks bad, but in reality, it's just because they're putting him in the wrong spot.
Yeah, and Minka was one of the guys that showed up today. He got some pass deflections. He made the that big hit on Justin Fields on the third down, which was it got us all pumped up on that string, bro.
Yeah, it did.
But speaking of Fields, he kind of got bullied today. 3 sacks from Watt. He got I suppose a quote unquote missed roughing the passer by Sutton or by Highsmith. So even though he had almost 300 yards passing and a touchdown, he threw a pick and still got a warm welcome from the Steelers defense. But the defense,
and as far as Justin Fields getting hit, I mean, it's the same argument about the penalties.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of those times this guy was, running the ball, and when you're a runner, I mean, you're going to get hit.
Yeah, simple as that.
And specifically on that one play, he turned his back to the defender. I mean, what do you expect is going to happen? Like it's almost like they expect these players to come up and hug them, give them flowers, pat them on the back, kissies. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You can't even hit your damn hand on their face mask without a penalty. It's absolutely.
I mean, look
disgusting.
at the roughing the passer penalty on Aaron Donald last night on Matthew Stafford, where he literally slightly.
Which I missed that. I'm gonna have to go look that one up.
He slightly tapped his fingers at Tannehill when Tannehill threw it away, and it was roughing the passer, and that led to the Titans to score a touchdown with Adrian Peterson, pretty much ending the game for the Rams.
Yeah, so that ties back into our whole referee thing. Plus, they missed so many false starts on the right tackle for the Bears. I don't know if it was just me, but also
No, I saw other people in chat were pointing that out as well.
And, of course, the Goodwin catch, which I didn't think it was a catch. The ball was, like, moving. It was literally, like, doing one of these things, just turning and twisting and shit.
No, but, Jesse James didn't catch that ball so many years back. I mean, it's embarrassing for the league.
Yeah. The refs were terrible.
It really is.
The refs were
and
really
I honestly think one of the solutions, and I know it might slow the game down, certain plays need to be challengeable, or certain calls, I mean.
I think that's exactly why they do what they do now, is because they want to make the game faster. But, like, who gives a damn?
Of course.
Honestly.
Of course.
Like, I'd rather watch more football.
I mean, they were just discussing getting rid of, punts or not punts, but
kickoffs.
Yeah, I remember
which, I mean,
that.
what the hell?
Why would you do that? That is a football tradition. Some of the greatest plays in NFL history has come from that. NFL records have come from that. You're going to get rid of it?
I just hope I live long enough to see Roger Goodell leave this league and somebody else take over, and they go back to traditional stuff. I mean, yeah, implement some of the safety things that we've seen over the years, but because, not everything's bad that's been implemented into football in the last decade, but a lot of this shit now is getting out of hand.
Very out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming disgusting. But
yeah.
Other than that, though, Steelers win 29-27. Colt, I don't want to keep you too long, man, but thanks for calling in, giving us your thoughts on many topics: the Steelers, the NFL, the fact that they're pretty much watering down the sport. So. I appreciate it. And
you know what? I appreciate you guys letting me call in because, unfortunately, I was not able to do a post game like I have been all season since we're transitioning the channel from JB412 to the new name, Cold Steel.
Cold Steel, man.
Which I'm going to always say it that way. And I'm glad you guys support the name change as well.
Oh, totally.
Of course, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for letting me call in and give my thoughts on the game. And kind of go on a mini rant about the NFL and the rules and all that crap. But and shout out to everybody in chat, man. You guys got, at this moment, 117 awesome Steelers fans and even other fans of other teams in there. And I hope everybody has a good week.
Yeah, I appreciate every single one of you tuning in, man. I appreciate Cold for inviting us to his watch party, which if you weren't live for that, you guys can watch the replay on his channel, man.
Some good reactions. I was actually, before I called in, I was cutting up some stuff to upload for tomorrow.
I'm definitely going to check some of that out. That's going to be fun.
Definitely. But hey, Cold, man, appreciate you coming on, and you're always welcome. Always welcome.
By the way, the name, because I saw the Steelers, shout out to my boy. We were just talking about Jackson, weren't we?
Yeah.
Steel Jackson's in the chat, man. Shout out to my boy Steel.
Steel Jackson.
Hey, what is up, bro?
It's spelled with a K, though. We're spelling cold with a K, because my graphic design company, that's the name, Cold Venom.
Yeah.
So we're merging both worlds here, but yeah.
Yeah, Steel Jackson is in the building. Shout out to him, man. Hey, I was DMing him earlier about possibly getting a Willie Parker jersey.
Nice.
That's gonna be nice.
I think I'm gonna buy it tomorrow morning in celebration of the win against the Bears.
See, look, you got other people. People want to do call-ins, man. I think this is the wave right here.
I know.
Having people call into the channel.
Because this is this is different. You know, we haven't done a live post game before. So, I mean, I don't know how much often we're going to do this for the rest of the season because our schedule is going to get pretty tight with peak season coming up at work. But
yeah, unfortunately.
But, you know, this is fun, man.
A lot of fun.
I'd love to do this down the road more and have some people call in, especially like guys like Code or GT. Shout out to him. Some guys from the Discord, you know. That'd be great.
Hell yeah.
Definitely think you guys should implement it.
Totally, man. But that's down the line when we have a better schedule and stuff like that. But that'll happen, bro.
Well, that's it. I'm going to sign off here. Steelers Nation, we did get the win. A win is a win. We still got work to do, which is kind of mind-boggling to say at Week 10, but who knows? Again, maybe this is one of those Super Bowl XL kind of years, and I hope it is.
Hey, fingers crossed, man.
Fingers crossed, bro. Up next, the Lions. Let's get it done, man.
Here we go, Steelers, though. It's good that we got the win, so I guess I'll take it, but definitely needs to step it up. But, Cole, thanks for tuning in, man, and you have a great rest of your night, man.
You too, guys. Take it easy.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Yep.
That was Cold Steel on the call, man. Shout out to him. If you have not subbed up to him, I don't know why you haven't, but shout out to Cold Steel, bro.
Absolutely, man.
But, yeah, Steelers win 29-27 in prime time. Good Lord, it was a heart attack. It was an absolute heartache. I'm still sweating.
Yeah.
That's how crazy of a win it was. Steelers led 14-3, I believe, at halftime. And then we pretty much allowed them to score 24 unanswered and almost choked the game away in Hines in the color rush.
Yeah.
In primetime.
Not a convincing win whatsoever.
Why does this always happen?
It seems to happen every week, and I'm pretty much expecting it to happen next week, this Sunday against the Lions. Although, I don't know.
Because I don't know if it's going to get any much.
Because although I will say this about the Lions real quick, they are winless. They're coming off a bye. They are winless. They're 0-8 right now.
Throw that out the window. Because this is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the Lions, I will give them credit. They play a lot tougher than what the record shows. I am not going to underestimate them one bit. And I can already tell it's going to be a tough, difficult game. It's going to be another heart attack.
Right.
Is it a game that I think we can win? Absolutely. But with this team, you just never know.
Never know.
But hey, we got the win against the Bears. Could have closed it out many times, but I'm not.
Especially the offense.
But I'm not going to discredit the Bears, man. They came in enemy territory. They came in tough. They came in competitive, and they almost took advantage of our miscues. Now I got to give the Bears credit. I actually tip my cap to them.
Yeah,
I do. And good luck the rest of the way to the Chicago Bears.
Oh, totally. But the Steelers, man. One quick little recap. Offense just got to be consistent. Many chances they could have put more points on the board, killed the clock, and extended drives, but they didn't. They did the same constant plays, handoffs on second and possible to Balaj and Najee and Snell for no reason whatsoever. Offensive line allowed 4 sacks. I mean, this entire offense just has to continue to step up.
They have to. Line's got to protect better. They got to create more holes for Najee.
Ben's got to be a little better, and the receivers, they got to make more plays because it seems like the only person making plays regarding the passing game as of right now is Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah.
I don't want to take nothing away from Deontay Johnson, but Freiermuth is he's a monster. If he's not a monster now, he will be.
He's the touchdown machine right now, as well as Najee Harris in the running game.
Freiermuth is the truth, man.
Yes, he is.
And shout out to Najee for a hell of a game, getting most of the yards for himself. Defense, secondary needs to step up. I don't know what it is, but it needs to step up. Watt had a great game. Hayward had a great game, man. 2 really big plays. Special teams got a hell of a play where Boswell picked it up, but the offense couldn't take advantage.
No.
It was just a heart attack in Pittsburgh, and I'm kind of expecting the same next week
against the Detroit Lions, yeah.
But in regards to the penalties and the refs are just terrible today, honestly, on both sides. That taunting penalty on Marsh was absolutely disgusting and sickening, as we already just talked about it with Cold. But
completely ridiculous. That penalty has to be thrown out the window.
It gave us 3 easy points.
And I don't want that. I don't.
I really don't. But I'm not proud about this win. I wouldn't consider it a good win. It was almost a team choke, but we got it. I will take it.
Yes.
We've won 4 straight. We are 5-3. We are tied for second place in the AFC North. I'll take it.
But listen, man, we got to be more competitive. We got to be more consistent because we are not consistent. We need
on either side.
We need to find a true identity. We just need to really revamp how we play in general. And going against the Lions, I mean, I said against the Bears, I think it's the right team to do it, but
it is because I know we may sound like a broken record here, but after the Lions, it gets incredibly tough.
Yeah, because we know the opponents that we face, and it's going to be one of the most difficult last stretch of the seasons the rest of the way, and toughest stretch probably all year. The rest of the way for the Steelers.
So, against the Lions, man, I want to see a pretty convincing win. And the problem with that is, though, we don't have a lot of time to improve on some mistakes because we're on a short week.
But that's the thing about this team I really want the most. Not only do I want us to be consistent and competitive, but I want us to be convincing. And with the AFC wide open, I think we have to. There's no more excuses. We're in Week 10. We're going to be going to Week 10 right now.
We are halfway through the season. This team needs to step it up at some point.
Simple as
it's got to
that.
be against the Lions, man. We remain home. It's afternoon game, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right? It's against the Lions. Yes, they're winless. Yes, they have Jared Goff. They have no receivers. I get that. But, if my what's it been now? 15 years as a Steelers fan has taught me anything, it's to never sleep on anybody.
No, of course not.
It's to never get your expectations too high against inferior competition.
Nope.
Or honestly against any game. Especially recently, but
yeah,
we got the win. I'll take it. But shout out to the chat, man. 148 of you guys here.
Really appreciate every single one of you.
Oh, God.
It is actually, what time is it? It is actually 1:10
in the morning. And we got one
Eastern Standard Time.
And we got 150 strong. You guys are awesome, bro.
Appreciate and love every single one of you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And if you have not, go on ahead, hit that thumbs up, and go on ahead and hit that subscribe button.
And cheap plug, we have new merch on the SteelTwins website, and we will be getting more merch on there as well. You can download the SteelTwins app on Google Play. iOS, Apple users, that is in progress, but it is available on Google Play, the SteelTwins app. You can download it there and check out the merch there. We have a new Muth t-shirt. And I think it's appropriate, so.
Very appropriate.
I want to shout that out, cheap plug there, but shout out to the Bears for a hell of a matchup. It's always tough when it's Steelers-Bears, but Tomlin gets his first win against the Bears, our first win against the Bears since 2005. Tomlin's 150th win, and it's in typical Steelers fashion.
It's how the Steelers roll, I guess.
And in some insane way, I probably wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I wish I would, but I don't know. It's the drug that you hate, but it keeps coming back.
It's something
but
that
at the same time you don't want to push away.
It's something that
you do, but you don't. I can't explain it.
It's something that we're used to, but at the same time we're not.
No, because we should be used to it by now, but it keeps fucking happening, and we get mad every time.
Maybe it's just the way that the Steelers look at the start. They look very compelling and convincing, and then they just pretty much let it slip through their grasp.
Simply put, they need to stop being conservative.
Yeah.
Close the fucking game.
Keep the pedal to the freaking metal. Keep the pressure on them. Simple as that.
Exactly. But we got the Lions next week, so hopefully we get the win there, guys, man. And 6-3. That'd be nice heading into a Sunday night game against the Chargers. But let's focus on the Lions first. Like Cold Steel said, treat it like the 05 season where we wipe all the games off and just right Lions. That's all you're looking at. Fuck the rest of the schedule. Fuck the Chargers, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Chiefs, all them. Just focus on the Lions.
Exactly.
Because this team right now, I am not impressed. I'd say this team is about average, as is the whole AFC.
If I'm going to be honest, it's mid.
Very mid.
At least in my honest opinion. You guys may have a different opinion, and that's fine. That's just me because this team is not very convincing. But that might just be me.
If
I am positive. Don't get me wrong, I am positive.
But if you want that mood to change, you need to go back home, return home, stay home, rather, and get a fucking win against the winless Lions. I'll give the Lions this. They are competitive. They're better than what their record shows. They have some decent talent. But I want to fucking dominate in victory. Simply put.
I see no reason why we can't do that. Simple.
Right. TJ Black Gaming, can you show us how to get the app? Yes.
Do you actually have it down? I don't think you do.
I have it downloaded. See right there. Okay. So what you do, how do I show this? So what you do is you go to the Google Play Store right there. You type in Steel Yinzers, all one word. Damn it. This keyboard sucks.
Well, you type too fast.
Steel Yinzers right there. And then you hit search, and the app's right there.
That's the first thing that should show up. Steel Yinzers right there.
And then you push open. It opens up.
It does take a bit of time to load. We're actually trying to fix that issue as well. It is, once again, it is only on Android phones, but we are currently working on trying to get it to iOS phones.
Yes, and there it is right there. There's the app. There's the hats you can get. What the hell did I do?
You actually pressed it.
JBN, that's going to be taken off soon because he changed his name. But right there, where's he at? Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is. There's the Move t-shirt.
Right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Officially now on the Steel Yenders app, so you can download that on Google Play. Apple users coming soon. Good Lord, though. Is there anything else to say?
I think we've pretty much said everything that we could.
Shout out to Minka. Shout out to Hayward. Shout out to Watt. Shout out to Boswell. Shout out to Najee. Shout out to Frymuth.
And shout out to Mike Tomlin for being aggressive, too.
Yeah, but he's also conservative at the same time.
Very.
So.
I can appreciate the aggressiveness, but, keep the lead. Don't let it go.
Exactly.
Simple.
But, hey, we got the win. I'll take it. And now we're on to the Lions. To all those in the chat, man, appreciate you guys. We could be doing more of these live post-game recaps because this was fun.
A lot of fun.
It feels better to do it live than recording because it just feels more natural. We engage with the chat a little bit. It's like, I don't know if this is the right term, raw. Like you're just off the boards like we are now.
Right, I get what you mean.
It just feels better. It flows better. Especially if we get call-ins going. So
yeah, I think that'd be a fun add to the channel, to the live stream.
We definitely want to do more of that down the road, especially when time suits us better. Because, again, our schedule's going to get tough with peak season coming up soon. But
this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed being here live on YouTube. I enjoyed talking to Cold Steel. I enjoyed sitting down with all you guys right here. Right. I enjoy being here. I appreciate and love every single one of you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Yes. Thank you very much.
And shout out to Christopher Goss. I believe I pronounced that right. So he said he wanted a shout out, so there's your shout out, Christopher. But we're going to get on out here, guys. You guys have a great rest of your night, man. I guess we can celebrate the victory. I don't know how you would celebrate a victory like this.
I guess celebrate it for what it is. In a good way and a bad way, because
I'll take it.
Pretty much.
I'll take it.
But we're on to Detroit at home.
We're on to Detroit. And I want to see a really good, convincing victory. I really do. But we'll see what the Steelers do, man. They need to make some adjustments, but it's on a short week. I don't know how much they can do, but we'll see what happens. Pittsburgh Steelers, man, they get the win. 4 straight, 5-3, tied second in the AFC North. Not too bad considering where we started.
Yeah.
But we got to start doing it a lot more convincing. So, see you guys, I suppose, of course, for the weekly predictions we're doing with Steel Sentinel tomorrow, but also the pregame against the Lions. So you guys can look forward to that. But other than that, guys, you guys have a great rest of your night. Go Steelers. We got the win. Respect to the Bears. Fuck the refs. And let's go Steelers. Here we go, Steelers.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace! All right, seriously, the Steelers need to stop doing that because I'm sweating and I have a headache.
Enough heart attacks.
Good night, guys.